It's nice here.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah, we're sitting by the river
Yeah.
in Banja Luka, Bosnia. I met with Emro after 2 years
Yeah.
last time, and we decided to make a video about trucking. And here, this is Vrbas. Is that?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, it's one of the famous rivers in Bosnia. It's not large, but it's very clear. I'll try to record some footage. Maybe we can add it to the
Yeah,
video. But
yeah.
we met here. We wanted to talk about trucking and what's going on in the industry, and it's nice and relaxed here. We have some wind blowing. I'm gonna try to cut it out, so I think it will be okay.
Yeah.
So, what's going on?
Oh, yeah, nothing much. Very beautiful weather here, next to this castle, and next to the river that you can't see right now. But it's really nice day.
Yeah, it's hot. It's
Very-
getting
yeah,
hot.
It's hot.
Yeah, it's gonna be like I think like 90 today.
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
So here, when I visit, like I said, it's been 2 years since the last time I've been here, and there are a lot of dispatchers, a lot of companies are opening up offices in different countries, and that's same in Bosnia.
Yeah.
And it's weird to come here from United States and talk to young people, a lot of young people who are in trucking.
Yeah. I mean, especially in some cities like Banja Luka, they have, as much as I know, they have a lot of those companies.
Even here,
Yeah, they do have. Uh, I think Sarajevo is the biggest capital of trucking companies that have offices in Bosnia, but Banja Luka is probably number 2.
is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I know Tuzla, Bihać, Velika Kladuša,
Yeah.
a lot of them, maybe even Mostar, maybe,
Yeah.
But they do. It's very interesting. You speak to young people. Most of them speak English.
Yeah.
Most of them know everything about United States. Even you, like when I talk to you, I mean, you never been there.
Yeah, I've never been there.
But it's like you grew up already.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
everything.
Well, I live on maps daily, so
Yeah.
I see every
Yeah.
street, every corner, everything. So it's kind of, I mean, when you work, when you do that job, basically all your life, you just get used to it.
Yeah.
Also, every content that I consume on YouTube, it's from America
Yeah.
most of the time.
Yeah.
And so you just see how people live,
Yeah.
what's different there comparing to here, and there's plenty of things different, but there's also plenty common things.
Yeah.
But as you said, this Balkan area recently became kind of a hub for transportation companies to have their offices here, to have their sales personnel, to have their dispatchers, even maintenance managers, and most of the company staff is actually located here, and very few people from that same company are in the US.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, Bosnia has a lot of those. I think we are on the second place still. Serbia has much
Serbia,
more.
yeah, they're even more advanced. They have, because right here you see trucking companies, you see Landstar
Yeah,
offices, some marketing, but in Serbia they have ELDs, factoring, insurance. I mean, they have everything.
yeah.
over
Just
there.
name it, they have it.
It's crazy, And people think, somehow, there is this suspicion on their behalf from America, like you're in another country, you're maybe doing something shady.
Yeah,
I'm sure, I know there's a lot of that,
yeah.
not from this region, not.
Yeah, and not
yeah.
because of the employees from here. That's
Yeah.
because of the corporate, because of the boss, basically. If the boss wants to do something shady, employee has to do
They
that.
have to do it. Yeah, they have no choice. Right.
That's how it is.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say, most people here, it's honest people.
Yeah, yeah.
They're just trying to make a living, and it kind of makes it work for everyone. Companies who are in the United States, for them it's more affordable
Yeah,
to hire people from here, and then here people, like they can get decent salaries, and they, some of them can work from home.
yeah.
So
Yeah, most of them actually. Well, that was, I would argue that was the case a few years ago, like about 10 years ago. It was the case of getting somebody cheaper from here. But now I don't think that's the case. I think now it's, if you want to find somebody good enough, there's no other better place to look for. It was
yeah.
like that before, but now it's not even a pay gap issue anymore, because here you can find dispatchers that earn like $3,000 a month, especially in Belgrade, Serbia.
Yeah.
Higher standard,
Yeah.
many companies over there. It's not even that pay gap difference anymore. But if you want a really good dispatcher, trained, with experience and all of that, you have to look to Balkan countries right now.
Well, it also has to do a lot with responsibility, and
Yeah.
a lot of younger people in United States and in Western countries, they are a part of those new generations where they don't have any work habits. A lot of them are not reliable, and it's hard to find people who are going to show up every day,
Yeah.
come to the office or answer the phones if they're working from home. And there is a lot of educated people with degrees in the United States, yeah, especially younger peoples, and trucking and dispatching does not seem attractive to them,
Yeah, yeah.
as opposed to people here who want to make a living. This, for them here, it's a very good opportunity, and they're willing to give 120% of their
Yeah, yeah.
capabilities, and they want to prove themselves, and you can rely on them.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that,
Yeah.
definitely.
A lot of them, like when you look at younger people from here, and I'm always saying younger because it's mostly younger
Yeah.
people that know English.
Yeah,
They like they show up all the time. It's very rare that they would take a sick day or that they would leave you hanging, so you have to scratch your head and try to find a replacement
Yeah.
for them. You have trucks to cover, and all of a sudden they're not answering. They disappear. It doesn't happen here a lot.
Yeah,
It,
yeah.
it does maybe sometimes, but it's not like
well,
over
yeah,
there.
that was kind of hard coded when you started in this job 10 years ago. If you started 10 years ago, only those really strong companies have been here, and the companies that are very, very strict. So all those really people with a lot of experience usually worked in one of those companies that everything is strict. They blame you for everything, things like that, and that just gets hard coded into your mentality. Later on, when you try to teach other people to do that, teach younger people, students that want to work that job, you kind of just teach them the way you've been taught. Exactly. So you kind of just pass that along to younger generations, and I think that was one of the reasons why, if you want a responsible dispatcher, you're going to have to look in Balkan area.
Yeah, and it's not anymore like it used to have to do something with benefits,
Yeah.
with insurance, because if you're over there and you're paying someone from overseas, you don't have to deal with them as far as the taxes go. You don't have to pay their Social
Yeah.
Security, Medicare taxes, insurance, all of that, 401k. But nowadays, it's getting more and more to the point where you have to do that here.
Yeah, yeah,
And in
yeah.
order to do that here, you have to start a company here,
Yeah.
which is a lot harder than United States. You have to have a company here, you have to pay the benefits, and at the end, as far as that goes, it
Yeah.
might be even more difficult to do that. So now
Yeah.
it only comes to other things like responsibility and willingness to work.
Yeah, yeah, of course. that bureaucracy and paperwork you have to do to create a company and even to employ anybody. He has to bring you some kind of paperwork that you need to bring to your accountant, that he's gonna do the paperwork, this and that. It's not like in America. Hey, can you start tomorrow? Yeah, you start tomorrow. That's it. And
Yeah.
I quit today. I quit today. You
Yeah.
can't do that here legally. I mean, if you are not legally employed, that's a
Yeah.
different thing. So that they can do whatever they want. But most of the people are legally employed.
Yeah.
And if you have an office with 2 or 3 dispatchers or even more, you have to have a company here. You have to do that legally. There's literally, first of all, no point of doing it any other way. And second of all, it's just too complicated
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
avoid being caught with taxes, this and that. It's just not
Yeah.
worth it.
Yeah, because it's much more strict here in Balkan countries.
Yeah,
Over there, if you are hiring someone, they can start the same day unless they have to do a drug test.
yeah,
That's different. Or some companies will do a background check.
yeah,
But even I remember when I moved to United States, when they did background checks back then, you would start working, they would do the background check, and then the background check would come in like 2 weeks
yeah.
later.
After you started.
Yeah, after you already started, and then if you lied in an application, there was something that doesn't match, then you would get in trouble because of
yeah.
that. But usually, it would be fine. But here, like you said, you have to do everything in advance. You have to hire them.
Yeah. I mean, you have to sign a contract.
Wow.
So the lowest contract you can give to an employee is 1 month. And if you keep doing 1 month after a month, that employee is not gonna like it. He can't take a loan from the bank. He can't buy a house, buy a car, have a stable job.
Yeah, even
family.
bank account.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anything, credit card or anything, he can't have
Yeah.
without. I mean, he is employed, but they're gonna ask for that contract. And
Yeah.
if the contract says 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, they're not gonna like it.
oh,
So, but if you employ someone and you give him 6 months contract right away, and you want to fire him, you can't. You can't just do that like that.
yeah,
You either have to wait until the contract expires and not
Yeah.
offer a new one, or I mean, you could fire him either way, but he has legal protection in that case. He
Yeah.
can sue you and get some money back.
yeah.
Complicated stuff.
It's not worth it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's mostly like that in European countries, especially in European Union. I think it's even worse over there.
yeah,
So, yeah, if you want a good dispatcher, I guess right now you would have to start looking abroad. And it's mostly smaller and mid-sized companies who are doing that, because for big corporations, you know, large companies like JB Hunt, RX, or some of them, it would be very difficult for them, and I don't think they want to mess with that.
Yeah.
They're still hiring over there. But for them, it's different. They can get fresh out of college people, and then they train them. But their turnover rate is also very high, and I don't think it's working for them.
for JB Hunt.
For anyone, JB Hunt, CH Robinson, Arrive, all of those, you know, like you start working with a broker, you form a relationship, after 3 months, they just
Yeah.
disappear,
Yeah,
you know. So,
unfortunately, yeah.
yeah, and that's what I don't like. Even here, when we are hiring dispatchers, we are looking for someone to you know, commit to long term. There is no contract, but we want to, you know, be a part of the team, and you gain the trust from the drivers, and you know, if you're very serious about your work, you stay here. But I just don't like it, you know, when I interview, and when we interview people together, then we are looking for those traits. Like you have to kind of notice if they are just temporarily there, like
Yeah.
for, you know, until the next better job opportunity comes up, or they want to stay, you know.
Yeah, the biggest risk here is the people that actually want to go to work in foreign countries, such as Austria or Germany, but they take this job just temporarily until they get visa, they find employer over there and things like that, but they do not disclose that. and you employ them. You create all different accounts. You give them drivers. You everything looks fine for a month or two. Then he just says, okay, I'm going to Austria or something. Then you have to do that all over again
Yeah.
with someone else. I mean, if the dispatcher or anybody else leaves the work because he doesn't like something, that's legitimate, 100%. So
Yeah.
that's fine. There's other companies you can go, but if you do that to a good company, th- that's not good.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
At
not good.
least disclose that on the first interview. So leave that to the company. If they're okay with that, that's their
Right.
problem then.
And they can plan on that. They can plan that you eventually you're going to be leaving and you're going to have to find a replacement, and then you would be more than welcome if that doesn't work out to come back.
Exactly.
You know, but this way, you know, if you just then it doesn't look good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's what it is. Let's talk about the current markets in United States. I think that would be a very long topic if you want to dig deep.
Yeah.
I looked at an article actually this morning. I have to show it to you later. There's this guy created a website. He's been in trucking, you know, doing. I don't know if he was a broker or a salesman, something like that, but he likes to deal with numbers and statistics. So he created a website, and it has a lot of statistics from FMCSA
Okay.
back 20 years, or like 19 million truck inspections. So he
Oh, wow.
he made charts and tables, and he did some calculations like which companies tend to have most out of service trucks by size, by age, a lot of things. There's like 30, 40 things, and it's very interesting.
Oh, I
to
didn't
s-
know that.
Yeah, I found it in Reddit this morning actually.
Oh, that's nice.
So I can maybe put a link.
So anything interesting there?
Yeah, he just started the website actually in July, so it's pretty new, but he has like 10 articles on there and that deal with those kind of things, and you can kind of see if you look at the trucking companies, which size companies tend to be the safest, which drivers, from which state.
Oh,
You know, like what was interesting was that the most injuries related to trucking were in Texas. But you know, so that has nothing to do. Well,
claimed injuries, but
yeah,
not
yeah,
real
supposed,
injuries.
yeah.
Supposed, yeah.
yeah, Texas is the largest state except for Alaska
Yeah, by size.
by size, but they also tend to work with those lawsuits, the nuclear lawsuits
Yeah.
against trucking companies. So that has to do maybe, but also what was very interesting is that most out of service rates for trucking companies, Wisconsin and
Oh.
Massachusetts,
Oh,
they're the highest
I wouldn't
states.
tell.
Yeah, and Michigan is like, because they're like 35%. Michigan is like 34. Michigan is like fourth or fifth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're up there.
Yeah, we were almost the first one.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, so it is very interesting.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but anyway, and even with the trucking markets, if you look at the statistics, that to me it is interesting. And but these last almost 4 years now, are different. Like they are
Oh yes.
out of ordinary. You can't predict anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've tried. We've predicted. Every like back 3 years back, we started saying next year is gonna be good. Next year is gonna be
Or
good.
even like in 6
In
months.
6 months, yeah. And this is the third year. It's not getting better.
Yeah, yeah.
It's in some cases getting worse. I mean, it's literally from day to day and from week to week.
Yeah.
1 week you can get by really good rate out of Minnesota. Next week you're screwed, man. There's nothing.
Yeah, the other day, one of our drivers asked me, I didn't have a chance to talk to you about that. It's the guy that had a problem last night at the shipper.
Oh yeah.
So he asked me, hey, like, what do you think are the brokers keeping the most cut
Yeah.
right now from the rate? Or is it the shippers? or like who is making the most money. And I don't know why he was asking that. Maybe he was mad that the brokers were not, because these are flatbed,
Yeah.
that the brokers were not paying that much. But he asked me that, and what I responded to him, in my opinion, the shippers are right now creating this whole thing because they have the freight to ship. They look at the rates at the markets
Yeah.
more than we do,
Yeah.
and more than
Than ever
brokers do.
before. Yeah.
And more than ever before. And for them, it doesn't really like your profitability or brokers' profitability, margins, revenue. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. They don't care about that.
They just look at the numbers, and if they can save 1 cent per load, they're just gonna switch brokers because they can.
Exactly. Yeah. That's how it is, unfortunately.
Yeah, and what
Yeah,
that
and the same guy actually asked me, the one that asked you about who gets the most money from a load. He asked me probably also a few days ago. He was just kind of asking because he didn't drive in before, as far as I know, and he's asking, hey, maybe it's better if I go drive-in route, if I take drive-in instead of flatbed. He has a 48-foot flatbed right now, and he has to strap, he has to put tarps, he has to do this, that, and always some kind of problems. He gets to the pickup, he has 48-foot flatbed, and they want to load 60-foot long steel bar.
yeah,
And always those kind of problems. And he was asking, okay, if there's a difference in rate per mile, how much is it? And he was trying to distinguish if it's worth it even doing flatbed at all. And I told him it's for flatbed at that time was like 225 to 265 per mile average, national average, and driving was like 220 max. And he said he's gonna think about it. I mean, I told him it is. I mean, the money is not. It's not a huge difference in rates, but he doesn't have to do anything. You get there, you open the door, park in the dock, you're basically done. Most of the time, you don't have to do anything. And he said he's gonna think about it. He's probably gonna take driving. I
Yeah.
believe. Yeah.
you know, I don't like flatbeds to drive them. I mean, I'm not talking about the dispatching side or the carrier side. I like the flatbed in that case better.
Yeah.
But if I was to drive, I don't like the flatbed. You know, but there are people who like it. They want to exercise. They want to get out. Or they want to make more money. But I still think that you can make more money with a flatbed, especially right now during summer.
Yeah.
Especially because right now south and southeast,
Yes,
they're
but,
good.
but the way he's driving, he's doing basically local around
Yeah,
San Antonio,
yeah, for him,
Austin,
yeah.
Dallas,
Yeah.
Houston. That's it. You can't
No.
get much.
Yeah, but if he was to do that, if he was to go
All over the
all
place.
over,
Yeah.
and you don't have to go all over the United States. Just stay there in the southeast. You would be okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And you have
just,
more
Just
potential.
follow the market. If the
Yeah.
market is good in Illinois, Midwest area, just go there. I mean,
Yeah.
get there somehow. It's not gonna be good money, but just get there.
Yeah,
But when you're there, get the best rate.
yeah, you have
That's
more
it.
potential,
Yeah.
definitely, with a flatbed. Even if you get a load with multiple deliveries, multiple pickups, they tend to pay
Yeah.
way more as opposed to a drive-in load with multiple
Oh, yeah.
deliveries. So, but yeah, if he wants to do that, it's really up to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing that I was actually thinking about is the way, and this could be a different video altogether, but we might as well talk about it, see what you think about that. The way, now we talked about shippers a little bit, but brokers and carriers,
Hmm.
the way we look at the markets and the transportation industry in general as carriers, as opposed to brokers' view. Because when you understand that the brokers look at the markets from the number side, they just look at the numbers and they're more business oriented, they are more advanced, they tend to be more educated, and they
Mhm.
approach it from an economic standpoint.
Yeah.
but we approach it from we we are, we do it. There's a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
We also, you have to be profitable. You have to do your research. You have to run your numbers, of course. But our problem is that we are very emotional with the markets,
Right.
with the way we are being treated, with the way they're cutting the rates, and you can't make a profit
Yeah.
as a truck driver, as an owner operator, as a carrier. But brokers, like, they are cold, they're calculated, and they look at the numbers. If the numbers don't match, they're not even going to do it, and they just that's, in my opinion, that's one of the big reasons why we can't get along, why we cannot find a common ground, and we don't function
Yeah. the
well
same
together.
way. Well, yeah, I think that also has to do something with scale. If you want to be broker, you can't be broker with 5 loads. Like, just that economically viable, unless you have loads from California to New York City that each of them pays $10,000 and you can sell it for 5, for example. Then okay, if you're alone in the company, or you and other guy, you could get by. But usually brokers have hundreds and thousands of loads and accounts and all of that, and they have to push them. So one broker, I suppose one dispatcher handles usually between 5 and 10 trucks, mostly on the smaller side, 5 trucks, and that's it. If he's done with 5 trucks, he's done. But brokers, he always has something. He has like 100 loads a day, and he wants to push them through. Sometimes we don't understand their side. Okay, we need a pickup number, and we get angry. Okay, he didn't send me pickup number 10 minutes, so I get pissed. I want to call them and say whatever. And but when you call him, you see he's on 2 other lines trying to cover other lanes and things like that. Sometimes when the market is good, they don't care about money that much. When market is good, they just want a dependable carrier. If he can push you 10 loads and forget about them, he knows you're gonna get them done, and he can focus on 90 other loads. He's gonna give it to you $100 more, $200 more. He doesn't care. But when market is tight, now he has more time. He has less loads to cover. As opposed to 100, he has, let's say, 30. Has all day to cover those 30 loads. He can pick and choose. Carrier calls him. He's desperate. He wants the load. He's gonna take the posted rate. But okay, now they can choose. Okay, you have 1 inspection, 2 inspections. You don't have enough mileage. They come up with ton different reasons. I can't even think of them right now. So that's, but the trucking company looks at it differently. If you have a trucking company with 20 trucks, you could be a decent sized company. I mean, you're a small company by any measure, but you're kind of a decent size, and you get to attach to those people in those trucks. They have nothing to attach to the load, themselves to the load. Like, it's a load. It's a piece of paper for them. That's nothing. Like,
It's just a number.
It's just rate confirmation.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all. Most of the time, they don't even know what's on the load, how do they load it, what's exactly needed to secure it, especially on a flatbed load. When somebody tells me this is a building material load, that could be anything from lumber to concrete blocks to steel bars to sheet metal, to anything can be building material, man. It's just vague, and they don't care. If you ask too many questions, he just hangs up. You're done, and he's not gonna answer again. But we do attach ourselves to drivers more, because I mean, they're drivers. They become your friends after a while. They trust you, you trust them, and sometimes even if the driver, owner operator says, okay, let's do that rate. I mean, we see they're not gonna pay more, and you often, I catch myself often asking still, because I like the guy, and I like that he didn't ask for more the first time, so then I do that. Then I ask for more, even more than he would have asked me for more. So I go back to the broker, I ask for a crazy rate, then I lose the load. The driver already said he's gonna take it. Because I appreciate that guy, he didn't, he trusts me. Okay, I told him, hey, this broker is probably not gonna pay more. That's it. Then he says, okay, let's do it. Then I go back and screw it, because of that guy.
Okay,
know.
so it's the counter effect.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, it's you get connected to the drivers, and sometimes I take it personally. Like you said, you get to know the driver, you feel for them. If they're
they're earning low, you
Yeah.
feel bad.
yeah, and then they have a problem with the load, and broker, we think it's the broker's fault that he could have resolved it in a better way. He could have planned the load in a
Yeah.
better way, and then you feel bad for the driver, and then we take it personally. It's
Yeah.
like it's happening to you.
Yeah, yeah.
And you start to talk emotionally, and the broker is just saying like, hey,
Yeah, well, that happens usually because some drivers just plainly say something to you that they actually want to say to the broker. Then it gets to your head.
yeah, yeah,
And then you have to feel bad even if you were actually, you did nothing wrong. You just
Yeah.
feel bad because the driver's angry, he's saying this and that. If I could call broker, I would tell him this and that. And all of them have broker's number, and none of them is calling them.
yeah. They don't call them. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, and because they feel more relaxed with you, and they feel like they can tell it
Exactly.
to you if they say
They don't feel pushback.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna tell them. Usually, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
tell them, "Hey, you're not right.
Yeah,
You're not right." I'm not gonna argue with them.
yeah.
As opposed to the broker, if they call the broker, yeah, they're gonna argue with you badly. Then
Yeah.
they push me to do that for them,
Yeah.
and they push hard usually.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
part of the job.
So in other words, I think drivers and carriers, we do get emotional, but we have to understand the broker's side of the business. Even though most of us don't agree that brokers should even exist. A lot of people think that they're unnecessary, but they're there, right? You can't do anything. Whatever you think, they're there. So we have to learn how to deal with them. But you have to, in order to deal better and more productive with brokers, you have to understand their point of view and their side of the business. So you have to understand that they're running with a large number of loads on a daily basis. For them, this is just a number or just a piece of paper, like you said. For us, it's much more because, especially for the driver, because the driver is on that load for 1 or 2 or 3 days, and they, that's what they do all day. Like when they're driving, they have this one load, they have to pick it up and deliver it, and spend a lot of time and a lot of effort, as opposed to the broker, who in the meantime dealt with like 50 loads,
Yeah,
and they're not attached to it.
yeah,
You
of course.
They're just trying to make sure that the load gets sold, that they get some profit on the load, and that it gets delivered safely.
Yeah,
That's it. For us, it's much more, especially for a driver. Thousands of things could happen with that one
Yeah.
load, and then you feel underappreciated. So brokers could maybe work on that. They would have to try to understand the carriers and the drivers, what they have to deal with,
yeah.
and show them some respect.
I don't think that's gonna happen, especially right now in this market.
Yeah.
They can do whatever they want. They
Yeah.
can employ all the young guys that have seen the truck on the highway. That's it.
Yeah, but if you have, it used to be that there were in our databases that we have on the website.
Yeah.
It used to be that we had around 2 million companies. I don't think it's that much right now, but let's just say 2 million carriers, and you have 30,000 brokers.
Yeah, those 30,000 is within those.
Okay, yes,
million.
so 2 million less 30,000 as opposed to 30,000
Yeah,
brokers.
but I've checked the data. Latest data, I think it's about 600,000 active
Is it
carrier
that they're active?
Yeah, actually working
Okay, Okay.
currently, and 2 million, I believe it's all of them that have ever
ever
been
existed.
in
Okay. Okay, so 20 times more
Yeah,
carriers, plus all of those carriers will have 2, 5, 10, 100 thousands of trucks.
yeah,
So that's a big difference.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. For,
the safety issue with load boards and with brokers and carriers, we didn't have to deal with that at least 5 years ago.
yeah, right.
And right now, that's another thing. It's not just that the brokers have to vet the carriers, it goes the other way too. Now, we as carriers, and you don't have the time, sometimes the resources to do that, but you still have to do your
Yeah,
research.
sometimes you don't have option. It's either take that load or stay empty.
Yeah,
I mean, even if you know that broker is not the best one, you would rather not to take it, but there's nothing else. You have to.
yeah,
And most carriers are actually in the same spot. So vetting from the carrier side is usually pretty weak, almost non-existent.
yeah,
And I've seen so many bad brokers posting a load, and you see back when there was a check mark on the DAT for OTR factoring.
yeah.
If they don't have a check mark, 90% of the time, none of the other factorings are going to accept them. Sometimes they do, but load just came out, gone in a second. People just grab whatever they can see. It's crazy, man.
And you can see that these accounts are hacked because they make multiple postings,
Oh yeah,
like tens of postings, different lanes,
yeah, yeah.
and the rates are also very high. And you
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
without thinking, you just go ahead and call that load and book it because you don't want to miss that good paying load.
Yeah, I think by now already most of the carriers and employees, dispatchers and whatnot, especially if they have experience at least 5 years, they can spot. If there's a Gmail account in the comment section, you know that's
Yeah.
fake load, hacked account and things like that. You just avoid those.
Yeah.
I
Well-
mean, I'm just speaking about the bad brokers in general. If you see the bad broker, most of the carriers just don't care. They're gonna take whatever there is just
Yeah.
to keep moving.
Yeah, and it's a lot of times it's a large brokerage. You would think that they have more security measures, but they have probably a lot of people that are working and untrained, and they would just click on whatever they get.
Yeah,
and
especially because of COVID, a lot of these jobs and workers are actually working from home, and it's really hard to keep the security when you're working from home.
yeah,
One of the employees can be kind of distracted, click on the wrong link, enter their credentials, and whole company has a problem because of that. They hack one account. That's all they need. They just need to hack one account to make huge problem. And you can see, Coyote was hacked. Echo Logistics was hacked. I've seen many big brokers. Integrity Express
Yeah.
Logistics. Just name it. Almost any broker was at this point hacked at least once.
we are talking to owner operators, to people who are looking to find a better company. Some of them are coming to Usora Express, and in these markets, it's hard to stand out.
Yeah.
What do you think separates a good company in these times from a bad company? What's a good quality that you can offer to a driver, to an owner
Yeah.
operator?
Not just in these times. I think transparency is the most important thing in trucking, especially trucking companies, especially when most of the Balkan companies are known for shady things. And I think drivers should look at that more and look for that more than they actually do right now. All they care about when you talk to them right now: do you have direct lanes? Do you have accounts? Do you have a drop and hook all week?
Dedicated.
Yeah, all week around. Do you have? Can you get me home every day? Can you get me home every week? And with all of that, can I get 15,000 a week? With
I
the
was gonna
driver?
say 10,000, but I can't.
Well, if you tell them 10, he's gonna say, okay, I have 11 here, this and that. You know, you
Yeah,
heard
for
that.
2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's hard to stand out, especially as a small carrier with those direct accounts, direct shippers, those kind of lanes. Uh, but I think right now there's almost none of that. Even in at the big companies, I don't think there's much of those direct lanes. Even if there is, it's not gonna be for everybody. They're gonna put company driver in that.
Yeah, or the senior drivers.
Senior
Yeah,
drivers that work with them last 20 years, not you who is looking for a different company and calling me.
Yeah.
You know, you don't you think they don't know that you're looking for a different company, but they probably feel that by the way you drive, by the way you talk to them, and
Yeah.
everything else. So the in these times, I think the best way to stand out is technology. If you have good if you organize your company really good, from a dispatcher to accounting to the boss to the driver. If everything is organized neatly and everyone knows what's their job and everyone does his job and does it efficiently, quickly, and if you can combine all of that and put in one thing, such as some kind of app, website or something that everybody can access it at any point of time from any device, I think that can kind of lead you in the right direction and put you ahead of others that have same size, that have same offering, that have this and that. I mean, there's always companies that are gonna offer, okay, 10%, 9%. I've heard 8% also. I don't know how they manage it, but uh, that's what drivers mostly are looking for. And that then if you're looking for that, you're gonna get bad company. I spoke with one driver just recently. I think it was yesterday. He asked me, what do we offer? I told him it's 12%, 300 weekly with cargo included, with ELD included, with IFTA included. All he was focusing on is the 300 a week. He multiplied that by 4. That comes up to 1200 a month. But he did not uh, focus on important things. Okay, how do you work? How experienced are your dispatchers? When's the pay? Is it direct deposit? Is it this? Is it that? Uh, do brokers like you? How are your reviews all over the place? Is there a lot of brokers that don't want to work with you and things like that? I mean, most of the companies, even if you ask them, they're not going to say, okay, 50% of brokers will not use us. Our auto service score is like 30%. They're not going to tell that. But I mean, drivers should do their due diligence, search, look at the company a little bit more, not just at the percentage and the weekly deductions. That's really shallow way of looking at things. If drivers were looking for better companies, they would find them. They're just looking for bigger promises, and they just all look for that. And most of those companies that will promise you 10K a week with the drive-in will end up not being even close to that. But they change our CLD, which we don't today. They do shady things, different shady things which we don't. I mean, I think transparency in the long run is gonna win. So what do you think?
Transparency and honesty. Also,
Yeah.
like you said, most of these companies who claim that you can make $10,000, then they're going to be like, okay, well, you have to drive 4,000 miles. And that guy that I spoke to the other day, I told you about him, he did say that, like, oh, well, I drove 4,000 miles last week. That's not possible.
Yeah.
Maybe
legally.
once in a while, but to do it consistently, that's really not possible. And maybe that's the way to do it. And again, this business, most businesses are like that. You're there for the long run. You want to be consistent and make money in the long run. and not look for shady opportunities.
Yeah.
For example, like you said, people want to hear certain things and they go over there. Then after a month, they realize that that's not true,
Yeah.
and then they leave, right? And for us to onboard a driver and leave in a month, we are at a loss.
Yeah.
We don't have a profit, so we
Yeah.
don't want that. And that's why we're trying to be transparent, tell them, okay, you know the markets are what they are. We don't mess with the logbooks, therefore you cannot drive for 1,000 miles.
Yeah.
But we are promising you consistency. We are promising you to be transparent, paid on time. We are not going to cut the rate.
Yeah.
A lot of companies are doing that right now because what they notice is that even those companies, like you said, that charge like 10% or 8%,
Yeah.
I'm sure
They're gonna make it up somewhere else.
they will make it up one way or another.
Yeah.
You as a driver, you just don't know. that.
You'll not never know
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
But this way, it's more honest, it's more transparent, and it's more safe.
Yeah.
And most of our drivers have been with us for a long time,
Yeah.
for many, many years, because they notice that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
notice
Well,
that.
turnover rate is really good with our company.
Yeah,
There haven't been a single driver that left, hey, I don't like you, I don't like your company, I don't like how you work, I don't like your dispatchers. They can leave because of the market, but they realized if they do so, they're just gonna jump from a horse to a donkey. So you're gonna be the same, you're gonna ride the same road, whether with a horse or a donkey. So it's better to choose a horse.
Yeah.
I mean, you're safer, more broker will work with
Yeah.
you. When it comes to the, okay, you get to the really bad place and there's one law just came out and the broker doesn't want to work with you. Imagine that. And
Yeah.
most of the companies are actually dealing with that. Drivers do not see that picture. They do not see that. They will never know that that load actually existed at all because dispatcher is not going to call that load. He knows they're not going to use him. You will not know that load existed.
yeah,
I mean, if you knew that was the case, most of drivers would leave eventually. Okay, he's seeing he's losing opportunities, and with not him to blame. It's not his fault that the company has a really bad score, a safety score, or otherwise, or reviews, or freight guide reports, whatnot. So people should, I mean, drivers should look more broadly, not just percentage and deductions. Because deductions, we take 300 a week. We don't take that. That goes to ELD, IFTA, and cargo insurance, and that's it. Other companies have 10 smaller fees on top of the cargo insurance. So ELD is like 25, 35, 45. I don't know how much they pay. You have admin fee. You have dispatch fee on the top of the company fee. You have
factoring fee.
factoring fee, right?
Yeah,
And I mean, it looks good from the outside, but when you get the list, what they actually do charge, and most of the time you will get that list first time when you get first statement from them when you start working. They'll not disclose that.
they will not disclose it. Yeah, yeah. And then when you get the statement, you'll be surprised and you ask, well, what's this? And they're saying, well, you have this, there is that. And then when you multiply all those numbers by 52 number of the weeks in a year,
Yeah.
it's a very large number, and that carrier is making up those numbers that
Yeah.
way, and at the end it costs you more as a driver.
On top of that, most of the bad companies, I'm not saying we are the only ones that do that, but there's a lot of companies that do actually don't give you fuel discounts.
Yeah, yeah,
You get fuel discounts by using their card, but they keep those
They keep
discounts
them.
for themselves.
yeah,
They charge you full price of the diesel, and for example, you spent 500 on diesel, and they got discount for $100, and
Oh, yeah.
they charge you $5, but they pay actually $400. So they have that $100 is a lot
yeah.
per week,
Yeah.
if you think about it. We could also say we could do this, and we would have probably much more luck with drivers. Okay, we have $150 a week deductions. That's it. But don't give you fuel discounts.
Yeah,
We will make up $150, $200 a week no problem. We
Yeah.
just fuel discounts.
Yeah.
But people don't understand
Yeah,
that.
but you can get more as a driver. You can get more money back with those fuel discounts because in the app, in the RTS Pro app, you can see where, or Mudflap
Yeah.
that we use, you can see where the discounts are. And if you're regularly using, if you're planning your trips and using those truck stops, you will get more than $200 a week in fuel
Oh.
discounts because my brother, he would usually get more than 200 a week
Okay.
because he would watch the app. And then yesterday, one of our drivers asked me from California, he said, hey, well, what's the difference if I was to pay for fuel myself as opposed to you know,
Oh, yeah.
taking it from the check or you know, giving me the car?
Yeah, yeah.
And I say, it doesn't matter to us. For me, it's much easier
Yeah.
because I don't have to go into the statement and see how much you spend and charge you. You're not using my money because they're charging me, then I'm charging you.
And he gets more at the end of the week.
Because of the discounts.
Exactly.
And I told him that's the difference. You can use your credit card or debit card, you can use cash. That's up to you. You know, I don't care. I'm not forcing anyone to do this, but this is a convenience for you. And you don't have to spend your money up front.
Yeah.
Uh,
And there's literally nothing there for us. Literally.
There's nothing.
Not exactly nothing.
There's not a cent. And this way, if you're using a fuel card, you will get charged for the fuel on the next statement for this week.
Yeah.
But if you're using your own money, you have to pay it right then.
Yeah. Right then and
You
there.
know, in advance.
Yeah.
And you're not getting discounts. And he said, well, what are the discounts? And we do, like in the settlement
Yeah.
section on our app, I upload the settlements every week,
Yeah.
and I upload the statements from the fuel, and there is it says right there what your discounts were. But I guess he never looked
Yeah,
at it. He never noticed.
Yeah.
And I took a picture, I sent it to him, and I said, hey, last week you had $150 in discounts. He didn't even know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know. But if you're paying
Well.
attention, you can get even more,
Oh yeah, of course.
right? And like you said, a lot of companies are not giving you that. So you can easily get $200 to $300. I guarantee you, especially if you drive all over, if you drive a lot,
Yeah.
you can get $200 to $300. That's like that's $10,000 a
That's
year.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The difference, that weekly charge that we have, $300, that includes everything from IFTA, ELD.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how much we pay for
Yeah.
ELD, it's included there.
It's
It's
included.
basically free for you.
Yeah,
And cargo insurance. That's it.
yeah,
And we in that cargo insurance, it's not just for driving. We pay much more for every single truck because we have reefer breakdown.
yeah. There's a reefer breakdown, and you know, it's,
At any point,
yeah.
any of them can swap driving
Yeah.
for reefer and
Yeah.
not pay anything extra.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, people don't get it.
Yeah, well, you have to look at the bigger picture, and people sometimes I even read some things where they say, well, you know, why do you take, not us, but like other companies,
yeah.
why do they take 12% plus they charge for the cargo and liability?
Yeah.
Well, if cargo liability is like between $10,000 and $15,000 a year, let's say, you know, depends what company you are. Sometimes it can be way more,
Yeah.
you know, and if you as a company have to cover that, and if you charge 12% commission, you still have to pay for the factoring fee. Most companies use factoring. You have to pay for the dispatcher, for the expenses, for the subscriptions, office rent, all of that. The company has to have a profit, right? And the owner of the company has to have a salary too, right?
Yep.
So, like, are you saying that the company should not have any profit? The company has to have profit. It's not, and people don't understand that as a part of business. There has to be a profit for the company.
Yeah.
That doesn't have to mean that the owner or the CEO or the president is taking all of that money. They can have a decent salary, but that money that company keeps as a profit, they can invest it.
Yeah,
Reinvest it, and then you can get better things, better services, better dispatchers, better technology,
Exactly.
better trucks, better office, better, buy a building. That's how you reinvest that.
Better trailers. If
Yeah.
if company
Yeah.
has more and enough
Yeah.
money to buy trailers,
Yeah.
they're gonna buy them and rent you at the same, probably at the same price that you're renting the old trailer for.
Yeah, yeah,
you're gonna still be better off
yeah,
with that.
yeah. Because people have that misconception that the company profit equals owner profit.
Yeah,
It has
and
nothing.
company evil
Yeah,
together.
yeah, it has nothing to do with that. Yes, the owner has to have a salary. They have
Yeah.
to live from something, and if they are, investing a lot of time and money of that, they should have, of course, have a
Yeah,
decent
yeah.
salary. But the profit is something totally separate. That's over there in the company,
Oh, yeah.
and that money is used not just for reinvesting, but to save for bad times. Because in
Exactly.
trucking, bad times will come for sure, and you have to have that money
Truck
saved.
breakdown, truck, the one that we had towing the trailer,
Yeah.
towing the truck.
Yeah,
Even if you're an owner
Yeah.
operator and happens to you, your truck breaks down really badly, you fly back home. Well, we need to redeliver that load.
yeah,
Whether we're gonna charge you later or not, but we have to pay for that
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna tow a truck or trailer somewhere
Yeah.
else and say, okay, it's $3,000, but you don't have to pay
Yeah.
now. Pay whenever you want. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, you
have
have
to
to.
pay in front.
You have to have that money ready there, and it's not because the company is greedy. Because let's say there was another scenario. You, as a driver, you broke down, and company cannot afford to pay a $5,000 repair,
Oh, yeah.
and you're gonna be like, well, what kind of company is this? Like,
Oh,
you can't
yeah.
even afford that. Like, something is wrong. So you have to have.
Of course,
have to have
yeah, and then there comes the liability. So if anything happens, owner doesn't have to be at all at fault, but you make an accident, and one thing is not right there. You end up at court. God forbid somebody has died in that accident. Oh my God, the owner is gonna suffer the most.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And insurance has to cover. Insurance is gonna go up.
Insurance is gonna go
Yeah.
up, not just for you, but for everybody else.
Yeah.
And most of the companies are gonna take a hit rather than raise the price to everybody else.
Yeah,
They're just rather gonna take a hit and try to
Yeah.
get over it. And deductible is usually $1,000, and most of the things happening are below $1,000, and we have to pay that right away.
yeah. You have to pay out of your own pocket.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. So you have to have that profit. So those 12% cover a lot more. I think, in my opinion, for the actual profit for the company out of those 12%, I don't know. Like, I should do more, better calculation,
Yeah.
but maybe like 1 to 2%
1 to
of
2
of the
on a good
actual
day.
profit.
Yep. Well,
You know.
on a good day,
Yeah.
if market is decent. Right now, most of the companies that used to have a profit and some savings are getting out of the business right now. They just cannot keep
Yeah.
moving.
Yeah,
The expenses too high. Everything. If they try to delay a few payments for a month or 2 or 3, now that payments have to happen. It's
Oh, yeah.
already way past due.
yeah, yeah. Imagine if you had 20 trucks under a loan or more.
Oh yeah.
And you lose 5-10 drivers. Those trucks are going to be sitting for next 2-3 months for sure.
Oh yeah.
You have to cover all those payments out of your
and
pocket.
it's like 3,000-4,000 a month just
for
for
the
one
newer
truck.
trucks. Yeah. Let's talk about transparency as far as the broker rates go. There is a lot of suspicion on the driver's side, and they have every reason to do that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of companies will cut the rates, and they will make sure that the driver does not see it. Some drivers think that if the carrier forwards the rate confirmation to them, that will, prove to them that they are not cutting the rates. But there is a way to.
Oh yeah. You can change. You can click forward, then edit the attachment. Just swap the attachment for another one and forward. And to him, it looks legit.
Yeah.
It looks the
Yeah.
same. Just the rate confirmation was switched. The original one was deleted, and the rigged one was attached.
Yeah.
So that's not a safe way.
And brokers will answer the phone to a driver or owner operator, but a lot of times they will not
Disclose the
them.
rate. Yeah.
They will not disclose the rate. Some of them might, but we always say, hey, if you want to, you can call anyone. I don't care,
Oh, yeah.
because we have nothing to be afraid of. But like you said, they can also on the rate confirmation, change the broker's phone number. So
Broker's
the,
phone number, load
or
number,
the loan number.
even the company name. Some of them just delete the whole company name, everything else,
Yeah.
or just retype the rate confirmation. They have their own system.
Yeah.
They retype the rate confirmation, put the addresses in, and the rate that they would like there. And look, random
Yeah.
broker or their own company name. Some they have like small LLC company. They just put that name there, supposedly broker, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, maybe the best way for a driver, for an owner operator to check on the carrier is to actually go to the office and just request all of the records.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you should be able to present that, whether it's on a hard drive or in a folder, or like you said, they can also request everything to be emailed to them.
At
Uh,
once.
And if they cannot produce that,
Yeah, can I? If you ask them, send me last a month all loads I've done in one email. If they do not send that in 5 or 10 minutes, something's wrong. Either he's gonna have to go all over again and change every single rate confirmation that he
Yeah.
already changed,
Yeah.
because most of them do not keep those changed rate confirmations on computer at all. They delete them. They forgot where they're saved. This and that. If they cannot produce even a month or 2 months or 3 months right away and send to you, something could be
Yeah.
fishy there. That's
Yeah.
not the safest way to know, but it
Yeah.
could be one of the things.
or maybe a former dispatcher would be willing to talk if they have a way of contacting someone that used to work for that company. Remember that one post on Facebook that you found
Oh yeah,
where this guy he got mad
yeah.
at the
He
boss
got pissed.
and he posted everything.
I think, I mean, reviews on Google say a lot.
Yeah,
On Google reviews, you
Yeah.
can see, if you see one review saying they're cutting rates, it's probably not because of nothing.
yeah.
Let's put it
Yeah.
that way.
Well, another thing that I noticed, because where I live, there are a lot of trucking companies.
Oh yeah.
And I know some of these trucking companies are bad, and I know that they're doing shady things. But I look at the Google reviews, and I notice that they have good scores,
Oh,
good reviews.
wow.
But then you look at the people who are posting those reviews,
And
it's
all-
their dispatchers.
Yeah.
You know,
I've seen
and,
that.
and it's the dispatcher pretending to be a driver. You know,
Exactly. I
that's
know.
so obvious. You know.
It is. I mean, reviews are also not, as you said, it's not safe way to know if they're doing that, because, as you said, that company has good reviews, but they're doing shady stuff.
Yeah.
There's no safest way is if you can catch them right-handed when you call the broker, and broker actually discloses the rate and it's different than the one that you're getting. That's the safest way, and almost maybe even any only way
Yeah.
to figure it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, yeah, that's another thing. It's still a nice day here. Thank you for doing this, and it was nice. It wasn't that windy out here, and
You're welcome.
yeah, no problem. And thanks for meeting me here and talking about trucking
you.
and being interested in all of these things, because it's weird to come to a different country and talk about trucking and business in the United
Yeah.
States, and you have a lot of knowledge about that, even though you're not there.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's very interesting.
It is, and thank you for meeting me as well and having me on your YouTube.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Thanks.